right. Hey, team. We're going to do some artwork this morning. So give me a second here. I need to check in on my signal, make sure that we're actually up and running. I also need to do the social media posts that go with it. It takes about a minute. So if you're catching me in the future, go ahead and skip ahead. Takes about a minute. So. Yep, hey, that sounds pretty good. Let's drop that volume down there to get it out of the way. And I'm going to grab the link here real quick so we can do the updates. Just to keep you guys entertained while I press a couple buttons, let me say, hey, my name's Phil Kearney. What's up? Okay, role-playing games. We illustrate them, and then we publish them online. And I've been focusing attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I've been creating content for D&D since 2017. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999. I've been a DM since 1987. And I've been an Eberron enthusiast since 2004. But I haven't actually created anything for Eberron on the DMsGuild yet. So this is an opportunity for me to curve those two things together and finalize where I'm at with Eberron to be able to move forward. I think there's other Eberron adventures I want to do in the future, but these things take a lot of time the way that I build them, and I'm hoping that that process can become more efficient in the future. So we've already built out the entire adventure, and now we're just illustrating it so we can drop the the illustrations into the book and then publish it. So we'll be doing that once everything is done. If you find today to be fun and entertaining, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Hey, new subscribers, thanks guys. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Here's a bunch of books that I've already created on DMsGuild already that all have free previews, except for this one, Subclasses Revivified. I participated in this one, but that's not my own publication. All these other books have 100% free preview. They're chock full of my artwork and ideas. If you think those are cool and you're a 5e enthusiast, consider picking some of those up. But yeah, let me earn your interest. So we made this book cover around episode 40. We're currently on episode 613, getting towards the tail end of having this finished. Today we're going to be working on the Yugoloth. Here's the illustration of the Yugoloth in the new 2024 monster manual, and this guy's got a very hey come on kind of feel to him, and that just for the top ranked fiend in the Yugoloth species, that just feels a little off. So we're giving him more of a triumphant pose here. It's not a big change, but this is our token, and you only run across this guy if evil succeeds. And normally in the adventure, if your characters are too beat up, then evil will have some mishaps and prevent this CR12 nightmare from being created. CR13, excuse me. You can have a much lesser fiend to fight if your team is beat up. But if your team is just absolutely rocking the place and are full resources, you can have the ritual that the necromancers are performing complete, and then create as a result of it an Yugoloth. So that could be a big threat for the team to have to deal with at the end game. If again they've absolutely just rocking their way through the content. For those not indoctrinated, this is the 16:9 format that we're building the PDF. This is a pure digital product. It isn't printed, but if you did want to print it yourself, it fits on an 11:17 page, so go right ahead and do that. You just have to feed in 104 pages of legal size pages. Otherwise, just use your device. It fits 16:9 format on your phone, on a widescreen desktop like everyone uses, a tablet. And once it's completed, the full page can be seen here, but each individual column is also 16:9. This is a rare instance where we're crossing from one border into the next for the sake of the illustration. But otherwise, all the information in this adventure are encapsulated one column at a time. So you can go column by column through the adventure, and we're still setting up, but these will all be navigation buttons along the bottom that lead to the different sections of the adventure and the different maps that the team can be navigating through the adventure. And we built all that stuff out. We're going to finish out we'll probably finish out the navigation bar this weekend and get that put in place. But we have just a few illustrations like we have this is the last significant illustration that we have left, and it's just monster character art. So I don't anticipate this being a big problem, but it is a problem that needs to get done. So I like the pose in general. I want to take the lot of this and drop it down to be fainter so that we can drop in better line art. This is typically this is how we do it. So I started off with, you can't see it right now, hold on. I started off with like a real rough sketch for how to fill this space. I didn't like that it was angling over away from us, like it's kind of like attacking something off screen, and I don't like that so much. So then we added in, well, let's adjust the pose and have it more center facing. That didn't feel quite right. So now we came up with this, which is a much more natural pose. So this is going to continue to evolve as we move through the work. So I'm going to drop this down to a lighter resolution, or a lighter opacity here. We've got our black on deck. I want to thin this up to I think a 6-point font, a 6-point brush, which we have up in here. That seems to be a decent line weight for us to be able to come in here. We're going to be using this, although I absolutely hate this pose. God, just what a passive bitch of a pose. Sorry, it's rendered excellent. I just don't think the art director should have approved this lazy of a pose for. This is almost like the artist here was like, I don't know what to do. So he like literally dropped that meh pose into this character. He's so meh. He should be more aggressive and more assertive. He is the top hound of the Yugoloths. So I just think he should be more aggressive. Speaking of which, not to trash the artist too much, it's gorgeously rendered. I just think the art director kind of dropped the ball on the flavor and the energy there. So for reference, the Monster Manual 5e24. This is a 12-point font that we're using in these columns, and you can see the Yugoloth couldn't quite fit into one column, which gave us a great excuse for us to be able to build it out into a boss fight sort of portrait. But you can see here, like, here's the Sturge, super simple. This is all the Sturge has to it, and you can see it easily fits inside of a single column. So that left us, we always have this little gap in here that we can put the actual illustration of the monster, but we have such a big gap down here that we have an opportunity to do another like scenic illustration, which will be what we do after we finish the Yugoloth. But since the Yugoloth is the last significant illustration in the book, why not go out with a bang, right? Let's lock this guy down. Meantime, I'm working on page, like dropping in assets on pages and fixing maps and doing all the placement and stuff that we have to do to actually be able to publish the thing. So as we go through that, hopefully this will fill in on the trail end. So I think I've probably talked enough. Let's just get back into it here. I'm taking this pose that we have, and I'm looking to lock down and further improve on the ratios, portions, and positioning of the different pieces of this guy's armor and his pose to make it all just sort of fit together. So we're going to do some more sketching here, but as you can see, we're doing a little bit more detail as we come along to be able to fill in just to further fill in the form of the body, to make it do what it's supposed to do, the way that we want it to do it. So still rough here, but again, we're intentionally just building this thing out. Whoop, 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 whoop. So drop this down here. Flare this out like that. Oh, neat. Hold on. Like that. So Mabar has this symbol, and the symbol looks like this. That's the symbol of Mabar. So I want to kind of build that into the body of work here. So we have the wrestler's belt here. And then we'll have it in here as well. And then his eye is the Eye of Mabar. And the Eye of Mabar is an artifact. It's basically a steel ball that has an Abar iris in it that radiates necrotic energy creates a manifest zone to the plane of Umbar. Interestingly enough, the most recent Forge of the Artificer now has a facility that you can install to generate a manifest zone in your bastion. So we've already designed the final dungeon where this ritual is taking place, generating the manifest zone to Mabar. We've already designed it as a bastion. Now we have bastion facilities that allow us to create manifest zones. It's amazing how well everything that we've been doing here since basically 2013 has been curving into what Wizards of the Coast does. I'm incredibly pleased to see that, well, manifest, for lack of a better word. It's uncanny. It is uncanny. It's almost, sometimes I feel like somebody's watching my stream for ideas. That's incredibly pompous of me. But we've like with the martial redesigns, the weapon mastery stuff, we've been pretty much bang on, and it's turning out really nicely. So I'm really happy with 5e24. I like how it runs. I'm enjoying building as a designer. I'm enjoying building for 5e24. It's a lot of fucking fun, and I'm really happy how things are coming along. And I feel like this belt is too low, and I see. Hey, what's up, Def? Dude, I like the Survivor that you're building with a lawnmower. That's fucking awesome. Okay, so folks in the chat here, go check out his channel. Def is a pixel artist, and he's currently making a zombie Survivor type of game where you're using a lawnmower to mow through people, and all the upgrades during the survival XP leveling up is about improving the enhancements on your on the lawnmower. Fucking great, man. I love it. I fucking love it. It's hysterical. I don't play games. I'm not going to play it, but I love watching his creation. I'm a big fan of Survivor type games. I just don't play them. So normally when I'm painting or doing design and stuff, on the side in the evening, I'll have a YouTube channel up where you guys are looking at me. This bar over here is typically where I'll have a YouTube channel rolling either commentary, design ideas, or let's plays of games that I won't play myself, but I want to watch to see how they go. So, like in Survivor games, I'll just let it roll. And when once the streamer gets excited about an upgrade that they're getting, then I'll pan in and take a look for a second to see what it is that they're grabbing, and then I'll go back to work. So that's my column of stimulation. Here while I'm streaming, it's coming from you guys having conversations with me. When I'm on my own, that's where I'll play Aliens. Like, I've seen Aliens so many times that I don't actually have to watch Aliens to know what's going on in Aliens. So that's a really great movie for me to be able to stream. Ghostbusters is the same sort of way. The Black Hole, Labyrinth, Dark Crystal. It's a bunch of Geek Plus films that I've watched so many times since they came out in the 80s or whatever. That's just it's just kind of singing along with your favorite songs, It's I just know them. We'll build that like that. I like how this guy's looking already. I feel like maybe this is a little too significant, so I'm gonna chop it down a smidge. Hold on, I'll catch up with you there in a second. I'm going to tilt this. We're going to go with free transform, and we're going to use just a spot of perspective just to get that twist going. There. Nice. Oh, the roper finished. Hold on. Yeah, yeah, you did. Well, yeah, it's going to come along. Games are games, man. Asked myself what the plot was in the game before I answered, sleeping. I got my answer. Good. Right on. Was that the lawnmower idea that we're talking about there? Yeah, while we're at it, I'll show you the roper that I finished. I think you're... Here, there we go. This is how he ended up. I'm pretty happy with it overall. Good texturing, added some gritty texture that's subtle onto the tentacles to give them a little bit of dimensionality. I like the faded dark from the top to the bottom like that, even though this thing's on the roof. Like in the roof of the cavern that's in, there's all sorts of viridescent, which means glows green. Iridescent is glows blue. Viridescent is glows green. So there's all this lichen and moss that's releases this poisonous, stinking cloud effect. But it's all along the roof of the cavern that this thing is in. And it's just like, ropers can hang upside down like spider climb from the ceiling, and they got these 60-foot tentacles that can drop down and grab targets and reel it into its mouth, which is 20 feet off of the ground. So it'll reel you up, and if you can cut your way free from a tentacle, you'll drop 20 feet and take damage. But so the light, this lichen, this viridescent moss is called Popina Lotharia. It's the main source of dim light in these caverns and in this Mabaran hellscape. So there's light coming from the ceiling off of this moss. So that's why I did the light from the ceiling. And as you move further down towards the cavern floor, which is flooded in water, so it's I should probably actually put like a really mild watery reflection on here, but I don't know if it would read without the information about water underneath it. I was thinking about doing some reflective light wave like ripple effects, but I don't think it would complement the piece. It would be out of context as a standalone image. So we just have it here, and I really like how this texture turned out. It's got that grittiness that we were talking about with the crystals that grow everywhere. While still retaining its rock-like look. I'm pretty pleased with it. So, pretty pleased. Anyway, just closing that loop, because that's what we were working on Friday. And I said that we'd probably work on something new on Monday, and there we are. We're working on something new on Monday. That piece took me, 3 hours, I think, to finish that. I think we did about 3 hours online, and then maybe another 40 minutes on my own. So that was probably a 4-hour piece in total. Probably more time than I needed to spend on it. But I love how it turned out. So I'm all these revisions that were this always happens. We did the tokens first. They were the very first things that we made. And as we've gone through the process of building out the entire adventure, I went back and I didn't like a lot of these tokens. So I wanted to rebuild them to better fit the tone and mood of how the adventure had evolved over the past years to become what it is now. So that means I need to reduce some of the tokens to make them feel a little bit more in alignment with the tone of the adventure overall. And so yeah, here we are, redoing some of the art we had done before. But that's okay. I expect that to happen. That consistently happens in pretty much any book that I build. I'll start off with work to get myself into it, and once I find the groove, it sort of takes on its own life, and then I just come along for the ride, and this is where it's leading us now. So let's open this up a little bit more, just get that neckline going in here. It doesn't have to be an exact duplicate of what he's doing, but I will take that plunging neckline. Interesting effeminate energy coming off of this creature, though they are actually genderless. I like that there. And shout out to new team members that have come on board with us this month. I really appreciate that people are checking out the channel, subscribing, and keeping tabs on what we got going on. We're always working on different stuff, and we bounce from project to project, and all of them just kind of move forward a little bit along the way. Eberron is our main focus of interest because this is the next piece. This is the next book that we're going to publish on DMsGuild. And once we finish this, we have updating the color mana system from 2017, updating it using the 2024 rules. We also, including with that, we have the martial power system for mana for martial characters. We'll be building that out. The Bastion campaign, we're going to build that out. The Mecha Kaiju mechanics for Spelljammer, we're going to flesh that out. Spelljammer subclasses, we're going to build that out. Vokath's Battle Crab, we're going to build that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 books. That's 5 more books that we want to do. None of them are as hefty a challenge as this adventure had been. but I'm not sure how quickly I'll get them done. So, but those are the last official books that I have plans for on the DMs Guild. After that point, I'm going to reevaluate, like, what am I doing, where am I going, where do I want to go from there. So, I anticipate probably through 2027 doing more of these books. And it's interesting. I'm seeing more and more dungeon tubers coming around, and it's like, hey, we've been playing around with these other systems to get away from D&D 5e for a little bit, because it's all we've been streaming for the last 5 years. Let's check out these other books. And now I'm starting to see content creators coming around. It's like, hey, now that we've had a chance to go satisfy some vacation time away from 5e, checked out these other systems, let's come back around and look at 5e 2.4, and it turns out it's actually pretty damn good. So I think we've got some life left in this system for probably a number of years. So hopefully the set that we build out will remain relevant for quite some time. Nice etheric leopard print. Let's back this up, and okay, cool. So I see. Okay, cool.
Did you happen to see the text I wrote a couple days ago about my plan to solve color blindness?
No, I did not. So I do streaming like this Monday through Fridays in the morning. I do artwork every day, and then on Monday nights, this is Monday night for those that are catching this in the future, Monday nights we do game design, so we'll be working on bashing campaigns and mecha kaiju stuff for Spelljammer, wrapping it all into an Eberron asteroid belt orbital campaign for characters to run around in Spelljammers to fight monsters and shit in space. We'll be building that out tonight. We also do game design on Thursday, and then Saturday mornings. And Saturday mornings is color mana and martial powers design. So we just finished going through the Forge of the Artificer, the subclasses for Artificer, and the actual base class chassis, building it into the color mana system, and it all turned out pretty nicely. And the base mechanics don't require color mana. It's just universal. It's just an alternate spell point system. But the color mana aspect of it is a narrative theme and an added layer of ludonarrative mechanics for spellcasters, using different colored mana to cast spells that are also devoted to different color. And the spell point system that we developed is superior, I believe, in virtually every way to the system that they offered in the 2014 DMG. My personal theory is they intentionally made a spell point system that is not intuitive, so that people would ask, why aren't we using this intuitive spell point system? So I think spell points are incredibly intuitive, and I love it. So I dedicated about a year and a half of playtesting and developing a color mana system that works with 5e, and I've been using it in campaigns for the past 8 years now. I've ran 2 full campaigns from level 1 to 20 using it. It worked great, and I've done a number of smaller, like 3 to 7 level campaigns as well over the years, and we've had enough input and additional playtesting that there are changes and revisions that we've been making that all deserve to be updated in the actual books. And with the new 5e24 rules, changing how some of the classes and subclasses work and changing in power budget, it was a great opportunity for us to go in and just do some wholesale changes to the system, which we've been streaming on Thursdays. On Saturday mornings. And we're about ready to start diving into actually rebuilding the books and changing revamping them, just like the 2024 books revamped the core books for D&D. So I'm pretty happy with where this is at. It still feels a little bottom heavy. So I'm going to drop this down a little bit. Now that I have a general idea of what that looks like, let's go in and build out the actual structure for the flesh underneath the armor. So we got our shoulder points. We're gonna build scaffold style here. Get some clavicles going into here. Just build out a loose frame for how the body works. And given the size and detail of the character, I'm anticipating this taking probably through Friday. Oh, I won't be here on Wednesday. I have to go on my monthly Mecca to Seattle downtown to go do corporate fun at my day job. So I was supposed to have recorded a video over the weekend, but I got so wrapped up in map edits and revisions that I forgot to record the video. So I'm hoping between tonight and tomorrow night I'll be able to get that done and have that published instead of being live streaming artwork on Wednesday. The plan is to post a pre-recorded video about a concept, and the concept that I'm hoping to tackle and have published for you guys on Wednesday is how I, as a colorblind artist, how I do color picking and palette selection. So I think it should probably only be like a 15-minute video. I can probably parcel together the time. Is that the right word? Usually that word? I can probably pair together the time to be able to pull that off. But I haven't yet, so I'm talking bullshit until I actually come through. But that's the intention.
Hey, what's up? Use that info to develop tech to non-invasive read a single neuron past the skull, then create a device you wear that uses the code and signal to bypass the eye optical.
Exactly. Yeah, we were talking about that. The Neuralink that you could wear as a headset. It's sensitive enough to send signals into the brain. And if we just target the occipital lobe in the back of the head specifically with wires going around to the camera in the front, it could theoretically feed the light information for color vision into the camera, transmit it to the brain. The question then becomes, is color blindness just a faulty hardware in the eye not being missing cones, which is where color vision comes from? Or is there an actual neurological component where even if we send color information to the brain, is it capable of acknowledging what those differences are? Since it's had no prior experience with the new signals coming in, can it actually be received if it wasn't developed with the eye as an infant in the first place? So, I don't know. We won't know until Neuralinks are possible. I suspect this is tech that is going to end up rolling into humanity. And it'll be really interesting to find out. So, a non-invasive format like that, like I wouldn't have my eyes replaced. No way. I mean, if I was fully blind, go for it. The eyes are worthless as it is. But with me having at least the vision that I have, I'm not willing to experiment with it. It's kind of like somebody with one hand isn't really willing to risk sticking that hand into something that could get it hurt. Sort of the same vibe. I'm a chicken that way. Cheers. Buck buck. All right, so we're building out this anatomy in here for his body. It's got to be ripped. Powerful demons are always ripped. Get those gutters going here.
So, yeah, that's why the psychic is necessary. You missed that. Or I did. It'll take 30 years until I find the psychic. It creates devices you wear. There's a psychic bit? Where's the psychic component? I did. So you need to find a psychic that can transfer thoughts into your brain. I need to transfer color red, and we need a neutral code, and then...
You're right, I did miss that. Thank you for the update. I'm horrible with my chat. I love you, but boy, I'm horrible with it. the psychic, so they can feed you. Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's by okay, so if the brain, if your personality and soul is the software and your physical body is the hardware, technically the brain is firmware, like a router. So that might actually work. You're right. We just have to get psychers going. We might figure out psychers before we figure out Neurolinks. We'll see. Progress is unsure. Let's build out that arm. No need to get ahead of ourselves, so let's just work one extension of limb at a time. I don't have to kill myself on this anatomy because it's just going to get covered over by the armor we just built. But I want the anatomy to be consistent with the armor that we just built over it. So this should work out. Get that arm going like that. It's a little bit longer than what we had portrayed here, but it seems to sweep across the John the way it's supposed to. Get that built in, even though it's going to get covered up. We're still going to see some of those guns, so I want to make sure they are looking pretty sweet. I want to have more of a yes sort of arm pump sort of feel to it. So I feel like I want to squinch this in a little bit. Let's go to perspective and bop that out like that a little bit. Nice. I want to foreshorten that so I can have more of the fist here. That feels off though, so let's just drop in a stick form in here. I'm going to increase the size of this a smidge. Free transform. Broaden it out a little bit. Drop it down here. I need to have. I'm losing dynamism. It's becoming more and more stale as I get more and more accurate with the anatomy, and that is always a problem in gesturing and character posing, where the sketch will often be a lot more dynamic than the final form. At least for me, that's one of my challenges, is the dynamic movement of a sketch is often created by the inaccuracy of anatomy, over exaggerating things that are too far extended. And I'm still learning how to retain that exaggerated movement or posture and have it work inside of anatomy that's accurate. That is an ongoing issue that's my challenge. Let's change that. And actually, let's change all of that and pull that limb away just a smidge from its body. Free transform a little bit more. There. Now we're starting to pull the limbs away from the body a little bit more so it has more action. I see why they lifted the arms up like this to get some lift to it, but this meh sort of pose just isn't working. I think as power. It doesn't get out of here. It doesn't actually express itself as strength. It's just apathy. Merge those layers down.
What's up? In all seriousness, no. The reason minus the psychic won't work currently is because we can't read single neurons through the skull in order to read single neurons and study their patterns. Agreed. We can read regions, but we need to read single neurons. If we knew the neural code of red, the psychic isn't necessary.
I see now. No, that's great. I love it. I think that's grand. This should actually end up working out. Here, get that limb going here like that. We'll probably spend this entire session with the line art, and then next session we'll be able to actually start coloring. And so that means I'll have to do some palette selection, some color selection for this character. And that might be a good opportunity for us to do that video. So maybe I'll do my palette selection tonight when we do, when I'm off stream to build that video. Maybe I'll do my color selections off live stream on camera to record it and then show you guys on Wednesday. That I think we have a path there. So the initial sketch for this will be, if not finished on stream today here, then I will complete it tonight so that tomorrow we can go through palette selection. And if tomorrow goes well, maybe we'll just snip the live stream and drop that down as the hold on, I'm having issues. Take it down to 6. Take it on down. Get on down to 6. He's got this macho muscle pull sort of gesture going on here, and I'm honest. I'm here for it. I think that's good. I can go with his whip here in hand. Let's create a new layer for that whip. Nope. Almost. Not quite. Getting a fluid curve here is really important to me. So I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to pull that in. We'll go with whip. And body. And trash. There. Now, let's see if I can sync that up. Not bad. I think we can have that sit. There. Merge down. Okay, whip is good for now. Hit us up.
Whip.
Yes, I said whip. Burp, burp, burp. That's my 20-minute timer to make sure I don't fall down the rabbit hole so far as to lose the plot in conversation or where we're at in illustration. I've got 40 more minutes. And so far, so good, so what, you know? This tricep needs to be bigger to match up with this meat. Just an absolute specimen. I'm almost sick of this song. It's got its merits, but I don't know. I'm kind of burning out on it. I need to go hunt for new music because Epidemic's constantly having new stuff put out on it. Can't really. It's getting more and more difficult to tell if something's real or not. So I don't really stress myself over is this AI music or not when it's copyright-free stream music. I'm just kind of grabbing sound to fill the space. That's consistent, though. I'm not a fan of AI per se, especially in illustration, but I understand why it exists and why people use it. So I don't hate on people doing that. I just don't prefer it. But I sound like a hypocrite because I'm not picky about music. I don't bother looking in is this a real song or not. It's more about is this something I'm going to get flagged for copyright on or not. And people are becoming less and less open about is this AI or not. That's becoming less and less evident as people either conceal or cringe away from noting, did I make this or not? That's all right, that head feels a lot better in size. And it makes his arm make more sense. I'm getting a real Alan feel from Invincible. Alan, the Cyclops, alien, Super Saiyan character. That's basically like a secondary character right now. If you haven't seen Invincible, God, that show is totally worth your time. Such a great deconstructed superhero story. Absolutely fucking love it. All right, so we've got that pose is roughly good. And if I widen his stance, it looks more powerful as well. Wider stances equals channeling power, basically, in heroic posing. One head, two head, three head, four head, down by the John Dingus. And then we got 5 head down here by the knees. And we got 6 head for mid-calf, 7.5 feet down here. Well out of view of the camera. Looking a little big. So let's see if we can fix up these thighs. We got our buttocks down here. Which fuses together with quads here, tying off in the front. And I forget what the hamstrings in the back, I forget what their actual name is. They have a Latin. They have a Greek. Or is it Greek or is it Latin? I think it's Greek. But the hamstrings have a medical name that isn't hamstring. I just don't know what it is. Oh, oil in my eye. I blame my long hair. Ugh.
What's up? Air. Time lapses are becoming even more important. I can prove a lot of stuff is real, and you definitely can. Yeah, anatomy is my weak point.
Anatomy is everyone's weak point. We want anatomy to be as photorealistic as possible. But again, as I've said multiple times, somebody's style develops from our inability to be able to accurately portray photorealism. It's an apology for not being perfect. And as an apology, I offer to thee this aesthetically pleasing solution. That is a simplification of reality. There was a great Reddit question, like how do I develop, like how do you know what somebody's style is, or how do you develop a style? Something like that. I like hanging out on the Reddit forums when I'm on downtime, like on buses and stuff, because most of the questions that younger artists have are questions that a lot of us more veteran artists have had to find our answers to, and recognize how so many people come up with different solutions to those questions. I've got a bit of a bend going on in this pose, and I like that. So I'm going to grab this here real quick. And see if I can give it just a little bit more of a twist. You see that? Just a little bit more. Just a little bit of pepper. I want him to have this sort of horse stance going, because that just feels powerful. So I'm going to try to take some beats from comic books. I can do if I can do like a back splay, so like his stance is like back foot here, forward foot like here, over his body like this. That's the sort of idea that I'm looking at, like a horse stance sort of feeling. Horse stance, of course, being from your legs being splayed as though you were straddling a horse. This anatomy isn't really that important because we're going to put armor over it, right? But I want to get the positioning right. So let's keep fleshing out this thigh. I'm a thick leg kind of guy. I have thick legs, so most of my characters end up having thick legs. I have to actively think about like how thick, like is this leg realistic? There's that. Which is great. It just means I need to go online and look at a bunch of legs. Like, is this leg too thick? Is it too thin? What kind of character am I building? And then go find characters and look at their legs. Being an artist is great. Man? Agree. It's for science, I swear. See, this anatomy's slowly coming into place, and it's looking pretty strong. So, I think this is a pretty good job. We're doing good so far. I'm gonna get that going here, and a leg down like this. I want to actually have this leg pull back and have this leg more forward. I think I can get away with a pose like that. I can probably actually increase the size of the sketch overall to fill this space a little bit better. So far, so good. So what? Get that knee going there. I'm going to drop that away. I'm not ready for that yet. This is looking right, but it's not quite where I want it to be. Got a real X-Men sort of feeling going on here. straightened up. Like I said, I'll spend the rest of the session working on this pose. So I'll have to nitpick with it that much.
What's up? Hey, what's going on, Fox?
Dude, I was thinking about you. I wanted to reach out to you just to touch base with you. I'm going to drop you a ping in Discord and just see what your holidays are looking like. Because I miss you being around, dude. We haven't had a conversation in a while. You haven't been in game. Obviously, you've got your own thing going on. And I've stopped playtesting for the moment, so why would you? But I know that you've been hanging out with Esper the Bard and working with his mega campaign, like the West March style mega campaign that Esper's running on his Discord. So I just wanted to spend some time and catch up with you. So I'll drop you a line and just say, hey, find out what your schedule's looking like, just to hang out for a bit, if you don't mind. But for those that are new to the channel, most of my playtesters are people that have found the channel and have been interested in the stuff that I'm doing. So when I fire up a playtest, I have an open call for volunteers, and a lot of people that hear that open call are people that hang out on stream with me, and that just kind of bridges from a parasocial into an actual, friendship sort of thing. Like you end up, if you play a game with, like, if you're in a game together, whether you're DM or player, it's just a matter of time before your comrades become actual friends. And that's what I fucking love about role-playing games so much, that role-playing games is an opportunity for you to prove to people, when it doesn't matter, the kind of person that you are. And I absolutely love that. This is how I act when I can be anything that I want. Well, I choose to be somebody you can depend on. It's like, what an endorsement. My lifelong friends were all people that I played with D&D like multiple times a week. Still people that I reach out to and hang out with and go on vacations to go see and shit. It's just like, gamers are like actual like gaming comrades are for fucking life, man. Which is why you see a lot of these old school grognards. It's like, I don't need to pay for games. I've had a steady game of friends for the past 30 years. It's like, hey, that's great for you. Try to think about the world from somebody else's perspective. Like, some people actually need paid games to find someone who won't flake out on them, because flakiness is a thing these years. I think I want to bring that thigh in a little bit here. I'm liking this stance, though. It's coming along.
What's up? That's why we stick around, man. Well, God bless. We're old and wise and understand that these people we want to be around. Yeah, we're all trying to figure out YouTube. I will, man. I'll drop you a line just to say, hey, we'll find some time over the holidays.
That's so... Yeah, you got like a shitload of people in your teams. I love that. I had a pretty large pool of players back when I lived in Missouri, and then I built when I moved to Phoenix. I built a new cadre of a new team of comrades. And then I moved out here to Seattle, and I have not built an in-person team in Seattle. At that point, there were so many people from Missouri and Phoenix that were online that I just kind of kept playing with them online. And now my weekly home team for D&D, I play each week, are coworkers, and we play at work during lunchtime. So yeah, I have built a new team. They aren't people that come in and hang out at my house and eat my, drink my soda and eat my chips. They're people I bring a sack lunch and hang out with at work. Well, we used to, but now we're all remote workers, so we just Zoom it. I do miss in-person teams. I miss hosting. It takes. I'd have to find time to be able to build out a real life team to invite to my home to game with. It would require me going to some open shops where gaming occurs, and it's a lot of effort, but it's something that it's something I hope I can develop again. It would require me to be less busy. Back when I was doing that, I wasn't building books, and art was only a casual idea. Once I started picking this stuff as a side hustle, it ate like all my hobby time is spent on book creation, and I'm able to keep actually running games in my roster because I have to play test the stuff that I build so that we can find the flaws in it so that we don't publish shit work, which is a great excuse for me to be able to keep a team up and running. But I also like to rotate and change who's in that team so I can keep getting fresh views, and so there's no cult of personality built around ideas like that. So actually being online as a designer is super useful because I can always recruit new people to jump into and fuck around with an idea that I have. This is looking okay. I'm not 100% on this. I feel like this needs to actually be a little bit smaller. Sup?
Maybe I could have you all play. And we all win. I have no idea when I'd have the time. Yeah, I know, right?
The world is so full. We're all trying to survive, right? By doing the money or having the time with the family or doing the fitness to not rot away in our chairs. It's carving out free time is the challenge. I mean, we used to not have any free time at all, I guess, back when we had to hunt and shit. I mean, we still had to crash at night and stuff, but the sense of community and the simplicity of life made that a lot, I believe, easier to achieve. With things being more complicated and involved now than it used to be, I think it becomes more and more of a challenge to be able to find people that are also able to move at the same speed at the same time as you. That's the nice thing about college, is that everyone was kind of on the same schedule. It was just a matter of how are you going to, who are you going to spend that time with? Let's get that like that and there. If I go with the leopard print, I don't have to really worry about musculature too much. I think I can bring this in a little bit. Well, let's add the whip back in. Old Trolloth. Beep, beep, be-doo. Okay, I have all this space and I don't need it. The more important, the more powerful or important the character, the less of a full body pose that I need. Minions and throwaway creatures typically have full body poses. I'm giving this guy a mostly body pose, but I'm also going to cheat by trimming the feet. It's an old comic book trick of letting the frame cut off the feet. And I'm going to do the same here because I don't see a big benefit from adding the feet in. Which effectively, yes, means I'm running away. Let's see if I can add a tilt here to make him a little bit more dynamic feeling. Where's the square of this? I have to make a square, so let's see if I can. There we go. Square it up. Free transform. Selection. It'd be something like that. Thank you, Timely Timer. Yeah, we're not there yet. All right, let's keep working. We'll find it. This is the I hate my life moment of the sketch, where I'm still trying to figure out how the hell to make everything fit. Let's twist. That feels like a pretty good bend. Sorry, my face is all fat. Let's keep figuring this out. We'll get there. We always have to mess around with this shit, and we end up figuring it out. Let's bring that leg down. I like that. I like that sort of lean we've got going on there. What's up? Affinity. Could my schedule is berserk this week. I work with family Tuesday, Friday, my evenings. I think I need to scale back my gaming a smidge. Fair enough, man. Dyson Heists. Oh, that's a great name. Dyson Heists. I love it. It sounds German. I think I need to scale back my gaming a smidge. I usually have 4 to 5 games. That's a lot of fucking games, my guy. Yeah, I can respect that. There we go. That's starting to... He's got boots going, so let's kick in some here and then have that leg go back like this. That feels real good. Channeling my He-Man Skeletor sort of feeling here. So that's a good foot. That feels right. Now all we have to do is figure this out. And once we get that rough stamp in, we can start. We don't have to worry about the foot per se. Like this is just, it's just not powerful. It's too passive. So we'll do the full body for the token, but we'll trim it for the sketch. Oh, there it is. There I can see it. I see you, buddy. Really excited about the next season of Fallout starting on the 17th. That's this week. Holy shit, that's Wednesday. I'm really excited about that. Fallout was a great show. I was enjoying it. I'm glad there's another season. I hope it retains its fun and interest. It was certainly a great start. So we'll see if they've got the chops to keep it going. It feels a little long. You think? I like where this is going. Just feels a little. Okay. That's starting to feel better. Just got to get that boot thing going on. Build that out like that. There. Too much. We're losing it. Hold on. There we go. Getting there. Let's push this foot back down a little bit. I think we could probably get away with that. Let's get this pointy sort of ballet foot going on here. About like that. It's feeling pretty good. This it actually feels a little short though. So I'm going to grab here, dip in through here, cut that separately. Let's see if okay, so let's go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 6, 7, and a bit. So yeah, that's actual proper ratios. That feels pretty good. I feel like I could probably twist it a bit. So let's merge that down. And let's just fuck with it with the warp tool a little bit. Warp tool lets us bend its anatomy around a little bit. There, and can I tilt it a little bit? Yeah, it feels pretty good. It's a little off. Definitely better. Like, that was how it was. See, it's got that more of that sweep, that sort of lean to it. But straightening it out, like, reduces its dynamism, but fixes the anatomy a bit better. That's what we were talking about early. Like, the more accurate your anatomy, the less dynamic it feels. That kind of goes back to that comment about style, which is the apology for not being photorealistic by making it aesthetically pleasing. We're in a space here right now where we're close enough to anatomy where there isn't a lot of gesture expression. So it's flattening the image, which is a negative. So this I'm trying to bend around its leg here to create more of a dynamic feeling. But if I tilt this too much, it'll make his leg look broken. Not right. And this leg is less bulky than this leg now, so we gotta fix that. Let's bring that down a smidge and maybe give it a bit of a twist. We're close. You can smell it, right? I think we're about at a place. That's not bad. It's not bad. And maybe not bad is good enough. Can I reduce that a smidge and bend it? That's almost where I want it to be. That's too much. Can I tilt you back now? That's probably gonna be good enough. So let's drop all the background stuff. Let's take this anatomy that we just built and drop its opacity. Let's take the armor form that we created. Now it's off, obviously. Something like that. So we have the base idea of how we want this thing to look. Can I take this here and just steal that there, and then bend this one around like that. Oh, this is gonna fucking work. This is totally gonna work. The anatomy is only so-so, but adding in the costume, I think, is gonna just absolutely elevate this. Let's hide that whip. That's too long. So let's shorten that a bit. We can raise this up a little bit more, drop it in the frame there. There we go. Yes. And we're just gonna leave that. We're gonna leave this be. Let's see if we can. Here. There will be another layer. We did this anatomy, and it's less rough. It's still good, but we're gonna do a third, another iteration to fuse. Once we get this armor sitting and we like how it sits on the anatomy, we can then fuse the anatomy to the armor and then clean it up just as a final pass. There we go. Not bad. Bring that down to here. That starts to connect the girdle to the rest of it. Just comes in here like that. Foot like that. This comes up here. Shin guards for real. Greaves, I think is what they're called. This guy is a sort of Crocs socked sandal man sort of guy, but no socks can contain those claw toes. So far, so good. Still a little rough, but we'll do another layer of cleanup to help resolve that. Let's bring this down. Merge this together here. Bring that around. Nice. And we should have some snazzy what the hell are these things called? Damn it. Words are escaping me. Bracers. Thank you. You gotta have your armbands. Show off your guns, right? Maybe not. That looks pretty good. That feels pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. I'm happy with where this is heading. Bring in that. Bring in those tiger pants a little bit. That's not bad. This was worth the pain. Let's straighten up this foot here to bring that in a bit. Actually, we're going to leave that be. This is the foot that needs fixing. We can just leave it shitty and sketchy like that for now. Like that. There. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this so far. That whip, I think, needs a little love. like how that looks. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and make that whip disappear a little bit more. Let's take this. Let's drop down the opacity on that body a little bit more again, so that we can go back through. We have what? Oh shit, that's my time. Okay, well, I mean, hey, congratulations to us. We were able to build out the rough anatomy for this guy. I need to go back through. I mean, this is what we're working with. This is the form. Now that we're done sketching it out and figuring out what it is, we can actually lock down cleaner artwork and then drop in color. So I think we have stream tonight. It's almost 8 o'clock now, so 10.5 hours from now, we'll be back on, and we'll be doing game design for Eberron Spelljammer Mecha Kaiju Bastion campaign that we'll be running on my Discord from like level 5 to 14. And I think the idea is to start it sometime late February and have it run through July. Actually, it'd probably take March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So it'll probably take till October. An 8-month campaign, 1 level per month, run from 5 to 14, Spelljammer, Mecha, Kaiju, Bastion stuff. It should be a lot of fun, but we're going to continue developing that campaign this evening at 6:30 Seattle time, which is 10.5 hours from now. Before and after that, I plan on cleaning up the anatomy cleaning up the line work on this, so that tomorrow when we come back in, we can start. I can do a deeper dive into, like, we can focus on color, selecting the colors off of the reference image, dropping them in, creating contrast, and then just start rendering details to make this thing happen. And I suspect it'll be done by Friday. If I can, I won't be here on Wednesday because I make my journey downtown once a month, and Wednesday will be that day. So hopefully we'll be able to build out a video about color placement, like maybe grab some clouds and like do some skyline just to show about creating color, how colorblind people do that. If I get that built, I can then have that as my like published video on Wednesday to cover the gap that I'm gone. And since I go into work once a month, and 1 day a month, my plan is to start doing prepared videos to drop into that vacant spot that I don't show up, so I can start getting the habit of making design idea and like philosophy videos and stuff like that around gaming in general. Start tapping into some of these ideas that I talk about ad hoc here on stream, but I can actually make something organized out of them. So that's it. I gotta go. Bless you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I'm loving seeing faces, loving the conversations, Def and Fox. Always appreciated. Newcomers, welcome to the mix. Like and subscribe. I'm here 8 times per week. And I'll be back tomorrow morning. And I'll be back tonight, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning to continue with this. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks a lot. Cheers.